Welcome to BibleLink. It's great to see you today. And today we begin the book of Genesis. We're excited. Remember that first line, in the beginning. BibleLink exists to help you link the Bible to real life, your life. And like I said, here we are. It's the beginning. This chapter is kind of a big deal. The way you open a story sends a message. Think of Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities. Do you remember the opening line? It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. The opener of the first book of the Bible has a recognizable line as well. In the beginning, God created. A lot of people have passionate thoughts about the beginning. You know, there are battles over science and faith, battles over whether creation really took six days or not, and battles over how we should understand the creation narrative. So many arguments have happened over the beginning that one author wrote, "In the beginning, the universe was created." That made a lot of people angry, and it's widely been regarded as a bad move. While those arguments can have their place, what we want to do today is we want to dive into what this text tells us about God, what it tells us about the world around us, and what it tells us about our humanity. First thing to notice is this: our God is a creator. He speaks things into being that previously didn't exist. He kind of goes in and molds this dark, chaotic void into something, our world, something that's vibrant and beautiful. The first chapter of Genesis has a rhythm to it. It's almost like poetry. Let there be, and there was. And God saw it was good, over and over and over again, until God finally rests on the seventh day. You see, our God is capable of bringing newness and life into our lives as well. He can take our darkness and our mess and speak light and beauty into it. God can give us a new identity and can dispel the shame and brokenness and chaos we often experience in our world. You see, God's creativity didn't stop at creation. God is still at work creating things each and every day. Second, see what God notices about all that He creates. He notices over and over again that it is good. I want you to remember this. There is nothing God has made that is intrinsically bad. Some people say God doesn't make junk. Over and over and over again, God says what He makes is good. God crafted them all, and God says they're all a gift from God. Do we value the world in the same way? Do we recognize creation around us as good, or do we kind of treat creation like our trash can? Do we care for the world around us, or are we sometimes wasteful? Lastly, notice what God says about humanity. God tells us that we are special. We're made in God's image. That can confuse us. Back in ancient times, kings used to place statues and images of themselves in different areas to signify that the land was under their rule. For us, being made in God's image means that we signify to those around us that we in the world are under God's authority. We humans have a special relationship with God that no other creature has. Men and women both carry the image of God. There's equality of the sexes, not hierarchy at creation. And God gave us as humans some commands. He told us to go be fruitful and multiply and to rule over the earth. Having kids is good. God wants growth and multiplication to happen. And God wants us to rule over all the plants and animals and things that creep along the ground. And our rule is to reflect God's rule. We don't get to treat animals any way we like. We're called to care for the earth, just like God cares for us. And at the end of it all, on the seventh day, God rests. God didn't need to rest, but He purposely took time to enjoy all He had made. There's a special blessing in rest, and God models for us that life is about having good rhythms. Unceasing work can deny us that blessing and exhaust us, while resting denies us meaningful work and contribution toward the world. So how is your rhythm? How you doing on your Sabbath? Taking some time to rejuvenate, to do something fun, and enjoy the goodness of life is a really good idea, and one that God models for us. Well, we said there's a lot happening in this first chapter of Genesis. How do you think we can image God as we go about our daily lives? How can we care for creation? And how can we add some Sabbath rest like God modeled for us to our daily lives? Thanks for engaging in BibleLink today. Join the conversation on Facebook, ask some questions, share your observations, and invite someone to join us. And we look forward to seeing you next time on BibleLink.